So we got a refrigeration cycle. Here we have our condensing coil. So the very top section of this, we're de-superheating. The majority of this condensing coil, we are changing from a vapor to a liquid. And then the very, very bottom, we are subcooling that liquid. So we're going to measure subcooling. And subcooling is the amount of sensible heat removed from a liquid below saturation. So our formula for subcooling is a liquid saturated temperature minus the actual liquid line temperature equals a subcooled liquid. So I got our formula set up right here. So it says first we need the liquid saturated. Liquid, PSIG converted temperature. So the red gauge represents liquid pressure. I got my digital gauge set up. We're at 309 PSI gauge. That number's worthless. We want to convert that 309 to a temperature. So I'm going to put over here liquid pressure 309, done. It tells me that's a saturated temperature of 97. So I'm going to put over here 97 minus the actual liquid line temperature. Here's the liquid line. It's an actual line. I can physically touch it. So I put my thermometer clamp on the actual liquid line. I take a look at my temperature. So the actual liquid line temperature is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to write over here 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're going to do the math. So we just turn to our calculator real quick and we'll do 97 minus 85 equals 12. This unit's running 12 degrees of subcooled liquid. Temperature pressure chart with my saturated PSIG converted temperature. My actual liquid line temperature. Remember my liquid line fuller dryer is on the liquid line. Those are the only two numbers I need. Saturated temperature should be higher than the actual line temperature because we did subcool it below that number. 12 degrees subcooled liquid. We're going to talk about what that number means a little bit later on, but that's how you get the number. This is where subcooling is, for the basic most part, taking place right at the very bottom. That's subcooling. It represents what's happening in the outside unit. So make sure you write those notes down, study it, write down your formula on flashcards, practice it, study it word for word, liquid saturated. So you know it's the red gauge minus the actual. You can actually touch this. This is a conversion. This you can actually touch. So make sure we have that down, study it, practice it. We're ready to go.